asking, will Bybit buy the missing gap of Ethereum to cover these losses? For immediate sake, we are currently reaching out to our partners to give us a bridge loan. So currently we're not buying, and even if we want to buy, it's too big of amount to be moving around. But we are getting help and support from our partners. We actually already secured almost 80% of the Ethereum that's been stolen as the bridge loan to give us that liquidity, to help us with the liquidity crunch, so we can pass this crucial period. Okay, so we are not buying ETH at the moment. We are relying on a bridge loan from our partners to help us. Okay, so this is some of the.
Brian here from Coinbase. Well, today's a really good day because we just heard from the SEC staff that they're planning to withdraw their litigation against Coinbase. Now, this still needs to be approved by the SEC commissioners, but we're hoping that happens next week. And if this goes through, it's a really big deal, not just for us, but for the whole crypto industry, the 50 million Americans who hold crypto, and I think for the rest of the world, because this is an important signal about where things are going. Now, ultimately, we still need to get legislation for crypto passed in America to codify some of these rules and make sure the industry can get built onshore. But if this goes through, it's still a very important legal precedent that rights a wrong that was taking place over the last few years, where the SEC unlawfully, in my view, decided to attack or even try to kill the entire crypto industry by suing lots of different companies, including us, claiming that many of these crypto assets were securities. Now, they did this despite there not being any law indicating that that was the case. They didn't publish any clear rules to the industry, and in our situation, they actually had allowed us to become a public company just a few years prior, where they looked at everything we were doing and our listing standards, and they got comfortable enough to allow us to become a public company. So we should not forget how close we came here to a few bad actors in the government actually going off and trying to kill this industry. I remember in 2023, a lot of people were advising me on this, and they were saying, do not engage in litigation with the SEC. It's going to cost you tens of millions of dollars. It's going to put downward pressure on your stock price. It's going to spook public market investors. And number three, the SEC might fight dirty and pressure other companies not to work with you, which unfortunately did happen in a couple cases. But I think the thing that ultimately gave me the courage to do it was that, number one, I knew that we were right on the facts and on the law. Number two, if we didn't stand up to this bullying, it might have been the end of the crypto industry in America, because not as many other companies had deep pockets like we did. And ultimately, we had to spend about $50 million defending this case. And number three, we needed to stand up for our customers' rights. They weren't doing anything wrong, and they wanted to use this technology. This is America. I wasn't going to let some activist, regulator come through and try to make up new laws that didn't exist and take away our customers' rights. So I'm really proud of where this case landed. I hope it creates a domino effect in other cases that the rest of the industry is experiencing. And we're never going to stop fighting for crypto and freedom. Thanks, y'all.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. with triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy. And it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back, guys. Don't forget we had options yesterday. And then plus we get another hack. And remember, guys, when it comes to crypto, yes, we had that hack, but the stock market got destroyed because of the shrinking liquidity. So we pulled back. Has nothing to do with this hack. 1.5 billion is a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to what the value of the market is. And for some reason, these events always happen on the weekend. We get the hack, plus we had the SEC announce great news when it comes to Coinbase, but the fact is that the hack took over the news. Remember, negativity is always going to win, that negative energy. And that's how we know it was all planned out, and we're going to go over that later. But guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates made a big move down, but markets still tank. And we know why. That's why it's important for you to pay attention to that stock calendar if you're a part of my stock Patreon account. And then plus we have the dollar up, but still well off the highs. And we see gold keep making new highs. Why? Because the central bank is buying up. And we have volume and crypto up right now. We have Tether and USDC. And we have 800 million in USDC has been transferred from the Treasury to Coinbase yesterday. Also yesterday, we had 529 USDC has been minted at Circle Treasury on Ethereum. And like I told you, once we get stablecoin regulation, we're going to see trillions and trillions of these stable coins minted. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at 68 billion yesterday. Make sure you're pulling on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep the rates higher for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And we're seeing Trump destroy every piece of this legacy market to bring the fourth industrial revolution to a reality. Unfortunately, the sheep are asleep. And while the sheep are asleep, we know the NWO builds. Now we have U.S. senators want the SEC to rethink staking on these crypto ETFs. And again, guys, once we get this regulation for these stable coins, staking is going to be so important because staking can be used for dividends, interest, and even another way of paying rewards. But the approval of staking is going to speed up the adoption of these digital assets. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs at close were down. And we have Franklin Templeton has filed a S1 registration for a Solana ETF. And we're definitely going to get more crypto ETFs, whether they bundle them together or individual. And the more crypto ETFs we get, the less volatility we'll have. Because remember, they actually buying the real asset. Yes, they're able to sell it, but at least they're buying the real asset. They're just not cashing out like in futures. And then also we see these ETF issuers want you to have the ability to be able to buy and sell these ETFs in Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever asset. So therefore you're transacting in the asset and it takes out fiat. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now getting over into a little crypto news. And guys, we got the boogeyman. Of course, North Korea blamed for the actual hack, Lazarus Group. And again, guys, you know how I feel about these hacks. And we had Tether freeze 11 addresses on the Tron network and 7 addresses on Ethereum. And like I always tell you, only thing you have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. And you'll see actually who's to blame for these hacks. Because anytime you have Russia, China, or North Korea blame, we know what? It was an inside job. They've been programming the sheep in all types of movies, TV shows, since you've been born. I'm an old man, and it's always been like that. The boogeyman has always either been China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and a couple others. And propaganda is definitely powerful, especially when you're not even aware. And the sheep have no clue. But when you see these same boogeymen, that means there's a money laundering operation around. And more of these events are to come. Why, guys? Because the Fed is ready to shrink this liquidity, so therefore they can build this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.